Okay. If you watch this channel much, I'm sure you're familiar with the Ölevia brand of LCD televisions that I've been praising for years now. And I've made videos on several of them. But this one right here, and this is something that I thought was pretty much extinct. I mean, you never see these. This here is where that all started, roughly. I think there was one series or one line before this, but this is pretty much the original one right here. Now, if you look up Ölevia, the name Ölevia online, most things you're going to find are going to say that Ölevia is the name that Syntax-Brillian came up with when they merged to sell as their brand of TVs. But that is incorrect. I'm not exactly sure where the name came from, but it was around long before Syntax-Brillian merged. And I have proof of that with another TV that I had, which was an Ölevia by Syntax. And this one here is also a Syntax Ölevia. Now this one's even older. Like mentioned, Syntax was a company that made low-cost LCD, and at the time I think they even still made CRT televisions, and they had several different lines. They had one, I think it was called a colon. I don't remember. I don't think they sold those in the US though. Then they had different series, like you know, you have your Sony Bravia or your Sony what was the one? Vega, was spelled W-E-G-A. You know, brand is a Sony, but it's a different line. Well, originally, Ölevia was just a different line. This TV here is a Syntax branded television, and it is an Ölevia series. A while after that, they took the Syntax branding off of them, but retained the Ölevia name, and they moved it down here as the main brand name. But if you looked at the back, it would still say Syntax LCD Multimedia Display. And we'll get into why it says Multimedia Display in a minute. So I don't know if this thing works. I'm hoping it does because I've paid entirely too much for it. But this is something, one of these is something that I've been wanting to find for a while, but they're just extinct. So we'll start off by looking at the nice things about this set. One are these speakers. These speakers are get out of my way. These speakers are detachable, and they have cables that go to them. I'm missing the other cable, but it's okay. They're just it's just speaker wire. So you could theoretically hook up some different speakers to it. It doesn't say. I'm going to have a hard time putting the speaker wire back in. It does not say, you know, the maximum wattage or ohms or anything. I'm assuming these are 8 ohm speakers. I haven't heard these speakers, but they look pretty decent for a TV. It's got these nice doors that go over the ports, and they just kind of attach there. This one is missing one for up here, unfortunately. And it's got this on the base, which you would put your cables through. So you could pretty much route your cables to where you couldn't even see them until they came out right here. So that's pretty nice. Now, I'm always talking about how heavy the Ölevia TVs are. And this here is even heavier than one of the more modern Syntax-Brillian sets. I mean, this thing is heavy, and it is, I mean, it's not as solid as an old CRT, but for a LCD TV, this thing is solid. I don't know the resolution or anything, but we're incorrectly calling it a TV. And here's what I was going to say. This is not a TV. This is a multimedia display. It has DVI and VGA. You can hook it up to your computer. You can hook it up. It's got S-Video, AV. You can hook it up to DVD player, VCR. You know, with an adapter, you can hook it up to Roku. You can pretty much hook it up to anything you want it to. It's got component. It's got output for audio. But one thing it's missing is a tuner. There is no tuner, no coaxial connection on this set. It is not a TV because it does not have a tuner. You cannot hook an antenna up to this and pick up any sort of over-the-air channels. I'm not exactly sure why they did that, but I'm not exactly sure when this set was made. I'm thinking around, oh, you know what else I just noticed? This stand swivels. I think it, no, it doesn't. It's just got rubber feet on it. Never mind. Anyway, I think it's probably from about 2004 or 5. So at the time, it would have still been an analog-only tuner if it had one. So, I mean, it wouldn't be of use today anyway. But I think a lot of sets like this were starting to remove the tuner completely on a lot of less expensive sets because it was getting to the point where in 2009, you were going to have a converter box anyway, which of course you can still hook up to this set using composite or component or probably even S-video. And I'm having trouble with getting a power cable connected to this. There we go. So, I guess here's the smoke test. For what I paid for this thing, it better work. Okay, I see our blue light that every Ölevia TV has, and I've never understood why the blue light is on when it's off, and it goes off when you turn it on. Let's see here. Oh, the buttons are on the bottom. Okay, power. Okay, the light went off. We've got image. It's not actually scrolling like it looks there. It's actually on solid. It's a little bit dim. Once again, just like that other original Syntax set that I have, it's a little bit newer than this. It's one of the black ones that's branded as a Syntax. It also has the same, okay, it's getting brighter, so that's good. It has the same, or not the same, but the menu is different from the modern ones. Setup. Go back, please. Screen. Okay. Picture. Okay, I have to play with the menu later. So we got, let's see, those are the inputs. Wait, it does have a option. Okay, this is annoying. Be much easier with the remote, something tells me. So it does have a TV option in the, well, do I have to press a button to select it or something? I want to see. Oh, come on. I gotta clean these buttons or something. They're kind of... Ugh. I don't like these buttons too much. I don't know how to select an input. Maybe if... Seriously? Am I missing something here? I've got to get a remote for this thing. It does not... Let me go grab one, but I checked with the other one and I'm 90% sure it does not use the same remote. Oh, I forgot I turned that on. It does not use the same remote. Oh god, now that damn smoke alarm's gonna start going off. It does not use the same remote as a Syntax-Brillian Ölevia does. This is a very nice remote, by the way. This is a 5 series remote. Nope, different remote. The remote is silver. It has a little thing on the bottom that slides down. And it says Syntax. I see those on eBay all the time. I'll get one. be much easier to use it like that. Yeah, because this is almost impossible. Well, okay, there's volume. Yeah, these buttons are kind of screwy. I gotta clean those. See, power? Oh, even the power button. No, that works. So, see, there's a channel. Okay, now I'm confused. Because there's a channel buttons, and it has a TV on the input, but there is no tuner on this that I can see. How the hell? I mean, do those buttons just do nothing? This is not a TV. There's no tuner. So how? Oh, there it is. So there is a damn tuner. Well, it must be analog only then, if they're calling it an LCD multi-display. Because if it had a digital tuner, they would be calling it an LCD TV. Well, okay, let's go back and see what the other one says. I'm confusing myself. Things are hiding under doors, making me look like an idiot. No, see, this one says LCD TV. So, that's got to be an analog-only tuner. Because I think to call it a TV, by the time this was made, it had to have a digital tuner. So this is an analog-only tuner. Doesn't change the fact that it's not a TV. Anyway, I mean, it is a TV, but it doesn't classify as one. Anyway, it needs some help. It needs to be cleaned really good, but I mean, it's in pretty good condition. We're going to pretend, and I'm going to get my remote for it, or get a remote for it. I think that would be great. And the remote should work with that other one I have as well. But yeah, these are almost impossible to find now. An original Syntax television Ölevia series, and that about completes all that I wanted. I've got a I've got a Syntax-Brillian 2 series. I've got 3 2 series sets, 2 32 inches and a 42 inch, and then I've got a 37-inch 5 series, so that's the 3 and 5 series. I've got a, and then I've got a little tiny 2 series as well, a little, I guess, 23 inches. Then I've got that 32-inch Syntax Ölevia. When they first started branding the TVs as just Ölevia, and now I've got one of the Syntax Ölevia TVs that's branded as Ölevia. Only other one that I want to find, and that's going to be even harder to find than this probably, well, maybe not, I don't know, is one of the, right before they quit making them, they made these really fancy looking ones. I forget the series, but I think it's like a 7 or 9 or something. Anyway, they were really fancy because, you know, all the Ölevia sets pretty much, I mean, although they're really high quality, and they've got some really good features, especially on the more later Syntax-Brillian ones, like the big picture technology, where you can be watching a movie in, you know, 480p or whatever, and if you're using the digital tuner built in, it'll actually scale that up and make it look pretty decent on the big screen. I mean, a lot of TVs today don't even do that. You'll be watching an old movie, you'll think, wow, this looks like crap. Well, yeah, it does. Well, it won't on one of those. But they're still pretty much, even the 5 series, lower end sets, but right before they quit making them, they made a really high-end set. I'll put a picture in and clarify what series it is. But I would love to find one of those. They got a nice glass, well, I don't know if it's glass, but it's glossy, like the whole front of the thing is glossy. It looks really nice. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.